So when we're talking about displacing the beat, really what we're generally saying is we're going to move the beat over an eighth or a 16th note earlier or later. So I'll give you an example of what I'm talking about. We'll displace the kick drum a 16th note later every two measures. And so I'll play 16ths on the hi-hat where we accent the downbeat, okay, and 2 and 4 on the snare drum. And we're going to use a click so we have something nice to line up with, okay? So here we go. 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E. 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a 1E and a 2E and a 3E. 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 3, 4. 1, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So in that example, the kick moved every two measures, but the snare stayed on the 2 and 4 the same, and the hi-hat with the accent on the downbeat stayed the same. So we can really displace any limb we want within the phrase. The other thing I like to practice really helps building up 16ths on the hi-hat is shifting the accent over a 16th note. So we'll take a basic groove where we'll just play kick on 1 and 3, snare on 2 and 4, and we'll move the accent over a 16th note every 2 bars. Okay? So we'll turn the click on again. So it'll be something like this. 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a 1E and a 2, 3 and a 4E and a 1E and a 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. We're going to talk about playing a samba pattern with a clave played with the left hand as a side stick, a 2-3 clave. And then we're going to alternate the right hand pattern from one traditional right hand pattern to another traditional right hand pattern without stopping. So first off, of course, the samba is, right, typical traditional samba, okay? With the clave, a 2-3 clave, right? Okay, so the reason it's 2-3 is because you're going 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. By the way, that's considered a sewn clave, but we don't need to get into that now. So the right hand on what's going to happen in the ride cymbal is you're going to play okay. The ride pattern is going to be the first traditional pattern will be excuse me. Okay. And we're going to shift to the other pattern, which is more of a. So you were going 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a 1E. Now you're going to go 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and, okay? So you want to become comfortable, obviously, with both patterns independently before you start switching and playing them without stopping. So that pattern would be. Okay, so together, you want to be able to play the pattern without stopping the right hand, switching from traditional pattern 1 to traditional pattern 2, which would be like something like this. So I like doing that because it kind of changes that right hand syncopation book, to use that as a guide to build up the independence. So we would play the written figures out of Ted Reed's book, and that would be a way to play and build up independence. And that's a great way to do it But another way that I think is maybe even more practical is to use jazz standards, songs out of the real book, whatever, where you get the sheet music and you basically play the melody against the jazz ride. That way, not only are you building up independence, but you're memorizing these tunes. Okay, so I'll show you an example. We'll use Blue Monk, which is a Thelonious Monk tune, and I'll play the jazz ride, and I'll sing the melody. Unfortunately for you guys, I'll sing the melody and play the melody on my left hand while I'm singing it, play it on my right foot, and then combine the two. Okay? So the jazz ride. Here we go. Da 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 da, da 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 da, da 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 da, da 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 da, da 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 da, da 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 da. Okay, so that's one way to do it. Obviously, you can practice till you build up where you play it faster, but go through some different tunes, and I find that you find it more interesting to work up that independence.